The people of Iran are dying. The currency has collapsed. The country is almost bankrupt. Yet there is one man whose seat hasn't moved for 37 years. The question is not why protests are happening in Iran. The question is why Khamenei's power hasn't fallen yet. On December 28, Iran's national currency, the rial, fell so rapidly that people couldn't believe it, and from that day, fires started burning on the streets.
It began with inflation, but within a few days, the slogans changed. Now the demand was for a change in power, just like what happened in 1979. But history is a witness, sir. Not every movement leads to a revolution. So, will power change in Iran this time, or will Khamenei escape again? What is the truth behind the arrest of Indian people in Iran? We will find out the answers to all these questions in today's video. On December 28th, Tehran's markets were open, but one thing was unusual: the Iranian currency, the rial. Food prices had risen so much that meat and cooking oil were out of reach for many families. Today, this problem affects 57% of the population. This has happened before, but this time the drop was different. So fast that the dollar crossed 1.42 million rials. And from here, anger erupted. Within a few hours, Tehran's markets began to close. In about 2 weeks, this fire spread from universities to poor and remote areas, even villages. This wasn't the first time. From 2009 to 2022, Iran has taken to the streets every few years, and every time the army has crushed it. But this time, the story is very different compared to before. This time, protests started when Iran was being isolated from all sides. Its best partner, Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, was removed from power by rebels. Then, by 2025, Israeli attacks significantly weakened the regional power of Iran-backed Hezbollah and Hamas. As a result, the regional power of Iran, once the core of a strong network of anti-Western forces, has almost vanished in the last 2 years. The economy began to decline, and inflation was touching the sky day by day. Income had decreased. Inflation has been above 40% for a decade. People had nothing left to lose. Similar conditions occurred in 1979. Then, too, the fire started from the market. Social media didn't even exist then. Yet Iran's ruler, Reza Pahlavi, couldn't control it and had to be exiled. Now, the only difference was that this time, everyone had a camera. The shopkeepers who were selling goods until yesterday were now posting pictures of protests in the market. Soon, the opposition turned into aggressive demands. Protesters' slogans began to echo: "Death to the dictator, death to Khamenei." Some slogans even demanded the return of the Pahlavi dynasty, the royal family exiled in 1979. After this, the government started suppressing them. First, internet services were shut down. Then batons, pepper spray, and stones were used. During this, a statement from Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei came out, saying that rioters must be shown their place. After that, the opposition became even more violent. In Shiraz, the police beat a man on the ground. In response, some protesters threw projectiles. Petrol was even poured on an official and set on fire. Situations had worsened so much that it became difficult to control. But the question was, would this anger overthrow the power on its own, or was there someone else waiting for this fire? Actually, sir, there are many groups in Iran trying to overthrow the clerical leadership in Khamenei's Iran, but they hadn't succeeded. The first is the People's Mujahideen, also known as MEK or PMOI. It started in the 1960s as an Islamist Marxist student militia, which played an important role in removing the Shah from power during the 1979 Iranian Revolution and prepared the way for the return of the exiled Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. But as soon as he came to power, Khomeini considered MEK a major threat to his plan for a clerical-controlled Islamic Republic. Then he used his security agencies, courts, and media to completely crush them. Those who survived fled the country. After this, MEK took a violent path. These people killed more than 70 senior leaders, including the president and the chief justice. Khomeini remained the supreme leader for 10 years, from 1979 to 1989. Then Ayatollah Ali Khamenei became the supreme leader. But MEK continued its attacks. For about 2 decades, under the leadership of their leader Masoud Rajazi, they attacked Iranian citizens and military installations. Even after attacking so much in Iran, they had support within Iran. But the opposition to Khamenei became so dominant that MEK made strategic mistakes. When it supported Saddam Hussein during the Iran-Iraq War, its support within Iran almost vanished. Was the Green Movement after the disputed 2009 elections, led by Mir Hussein Mousavi. but by 2010, it was completely crushed. Besides these two, there is a third group that is still active today, and it is said to be behind what is happening in Iran now, the supporters of the monarchy. It is led by the son of the last Shah, Reza Pahlavi. He talked about a constitutional monarchy and better relations with the West. Iranian Khamenei, which has been in power for 37 years, today struggles with serious challenges like economic crisis, high inflation, international sanctions, unemployment, currency depreciation, and continuous public movements. Therefore, the demand for monarchy has risen once again. Youth and Gen Z feel that Pahlavi's return can bring economic stability, global acceptability, and personal freedom. 65-year-old Reza Pahlavi is also preparing to return to the country. He has been living in exile in America for about 50 years. There were several attempts to overthrow Khamenei's power, but they failed. The biggest reason behind this is the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps there, which gives a loyalty oath directly to Khamenei, not to the country. Protest control, arrests, internet shutdowns, everything is in the hands of the IRGC, not the army. Second, their religious validity. Khamenei is not just he is also the supreme religious authority. Therefore, protesters are called rioters, foreign agents, and anti-Islam, which prevents any protest from becoming a nationwide unified movement. But this time, something different is happening. Some analysts believe that the situation is much more serious than before, because now this movement is not just happening in Iran. From Britain to America, wherever there are Iranian citizens, movements are happening against the supreme leader. In Britain, a protester even removed the flag of the Islamic Republic from the Iranian embassy and hoisted the flag used before the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Meanwhile, news comes that American officials have briefed President Donald Trump on potential military strikes on Iran. And this is even more important, because the power is not just afraid of the streets, it's afraid of history. In 1979, when the power change occurred, Iran completely changed its foreign policy, and then on November 4th of that same year, Iranian students attacked the United States Embassy in Tehran. During this, they took 52 American diplomats and citizens hostage. In 1981, the hostages were released for 444 days, and from here, the America-Iran enmity begins, which continues to this day. Finally, let's look at the truth of the arrest of Indian citizens in Iran. See, sir, amidst the ongoing protests in Iran, a news story was also circulating on social media that Indian residents have been arrested in Iran. But now Iran's ambassador to India, Mohammad Fatali, has clearly stated that this information circulating on social media is completely false. Will power change in Iran this time, or will Khamenei escape again? What do you think? Write your opinion in the comments, and if you liked the video, like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.